Dear students, it is the week 7 and we are going to cover lesson 13 and 14. It is video second. Dear students, we were talking about the economy of Pakistan and the importance of strong economy in general. Well, in the previous video we covered that what is an economy and what elements include in the economy. Well, in this video we are going to cover the types of the economy that uh, happen or has been experimented in Pakistan. Well, mainly there are basically Pakistan is an agri economy. Pakistan is an agri economy and it is less industrialized. Clear? Even in the British era, the area on which Pakistan comprises, there were less industrial units, except two cities, Faisalabad and Karachi. Rest of the industry, plants, and things were planted in India or maybe in Bengal, but most were there in India. In partition, Pakistan came to have the agriculture. Clear? And from 1947 till present day, agriculture is the backbone of the Pakistani economy. However, in the most recent years, agriculture has been reduced much. 10 years ago or 15, the agriculture sector would comprise 60% of the Pakistani economy. Then another type of economy is called industrial economy. Industrial economy include the where there are industries like mills and factories and units and other things. Like in Western world, the economy is mostly industrialized economy. Industrialized economy obviously have is advanced economy and scientific economy because they earn more. We simply in the third world or in African world produce the raw material, but they make the byproduct and resell us on the highest prices. Another kind of economy is called socialist economy. The economic patterns that are practiced once were practiced by Russia. I mean, they socialized everything. Everything was owned by the government, and there was less ownership of the people in the private. Okay. Parallel to this economy is the capitalist economy. Capitalist economy is the ownership of the private persons. Fine. Like people, the own the factories and mills and banks and ships and many things, and they pay a certain amount as a tax to their own country. For example, all the Western economies, the capitalist economies. Fine. Americans are their leaders. Germany, France, and all other the other capitalist economies. Fine. Another economy is called Islamic economy. That the Islamic economic system that is not prevailing now. Clear? Once it was established and worked out in this world for over 1,000 years, but lastly, when the with the downfall of Ottoman empires, that economic system was crashed too. However, they brought lots of change in their systems. Fine. So these economies uh, are the famous economies under which the countries perform business and generate income, and likewise they spend on their public and uplift their uplift their uh, uh, life standard. Fine. In Pakistan, in the beginning, there are two things. In inception, in 1947, when Pakistan came into being, the economy was controlled by the civil administrators, prime ministers, and the bureaucrats, as still it is being functioned in India. But unfortunately, in 1952 or 54, the martial law was imposed by General Ayub Khan, and everything was directly under the control of the Ayub Khan. Fine. Ayub Khan also experimented the same economy. Fine. And there are two ways that till the time of Ayub Khan, the most of the business in Pakistan was run privately. Clear? Run privately. Government patronized this business, and Ayub Khan also brought a wonderful economic plan for the Pakistan, and in that plan, the Indus Water Treaty, the uh, construction of dams and banks, and many things were made. It put the people on the country on the right track. But uh, in the time of People's Party, in the time of People's Party, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, after 1971, when the country was lost into two portions, uh, he privatized the economy. Clear? He privatized the he nationalized the country. Okay, all the departments were owned by the uh, state, and thus the government directly involved into the business. Resultantly, the corruption and mismanagement surged and sweep into the government departments, and that was the first time when the government officers came to know how to make money, and this system is still continued. Well, then there were many phases that continued. In General Zia's time, another shift was made to economy. That uh, economic system were Islamized, Islamic banking, abolition of riba, and introducing zakat as another alternative system. Okay, uh, that was introduced. However, that was a wonderful system, but still transparency was required, and with the death of Zia, this system was also crumpled to the dust. Then we see the different uh, governments after Zia. For example, in after Zia, PPP, Pakistan People's Party, came into power, and they showed some of these steps. In 1996, Nawaz Sharif came, and in 2001, Musharraf came, and in the war of terrorism as a frontline state, there was an artificial blow of economic prosperity in Pakistan. Fine, but that brought many things. New education, roads were built, education of the students were focused, students were sent to abroad, and they got higher qualifications. IT and industry was IT industry was open, media industry was opened in Pakistan. Fine, and many other contracts were made with the uh, with the West. But against the war in terrorism, we had more deficit than ever before. So there were so many experiments that are that were made. Still now, with PTI came with a strong stance of the economic prosperity and eradication of corruption, because Prime Minister Imran Khan thought that the root of corruption actually are the politicians and the corrupt bureaucracy. Uh, they do not, they don't let Pakistan thrive, and they nibble it slowly, and uh, I mean, they have swallowed all the resources. Under that strong impression, they led a movement of corruption against Nawaz Sharif, and this is how. But all this pump and show appears to be one-sided. That is not a strong hold to uplift the economy of Pakistan, because the pressure on the public of Pakistan is increasing day by day. Although the Prime Minister convicted that he won't beg before IMF, but time showed that they had no other option. Fine. So it is a little bit review of the economical experiments that were made during the past many years, and now, just like Pakistani government, Pakistani economy is not a settled one. Clear? Because we are ally in both directions. Americans are the capitalists, and Chinese are semi-capitalist and semi-communists. So we are divided into the two pools. Whether we should follow the American line or the Western economic system or newly emerging economic system, and this fight is going gaining potential, because in the recent time, Malaysia, Turkey, uh, Iran, and Russia, they are seeking to introduce a new currency to conduct the business and threat dollar. This actually is the first major step being taken to threat the American monopoly over the international market. But we should keep in mind that those countries which are connected with the American economy and having dollar as their basic, they will suffer a lot. They need more vigor to survive against the economic droughts. Thank you very much.